What it do? Glitches. Coming to you live from the car. This week I'm going to do my update from here because I'm about to go into update for my lunch. We completed Ramadan and we've completed week 3. Last week the video got cut off. Last week the video got cut off and we went into week 3, which was rediscovering a sense of power. And it says this week may find you dealing with unaccustomed bursts of energy and sharp peaks of anger, joy, and grief. You are coming into your power as the illusory hold of your previously accepted limits is shaken. You will be asked to consciously experiment with spiritual open-mindedness. And that we did. We got into exploring anger and what anger actually means versus what we have accustomed anger to be. We got into synchronicities and how some people believe things are coincidences, but nothing ever is a coincidence. Things are always happening for us and never to us. And if you believe things are coincidence, you believe that there is a part of the universe that isn't orchestrating for your good. God knows that the sky is the limit. C.G. Jung dubbed the term synchronicity, which is loosely defined as a fortuitous intermeshing of events. So, when things simultaneously happen that align, from my understanding. We got into shame and what that looks like and what that feels like and what that acts like in society. And so the act of making art exposes a society to itself. Art brings things to light. It illuminates us. It can beam into the heart of our own darkness and say, see? So it almost a reflection of self in shame. Like, why is it you feel shame to do certain things and how to combat that? What it's triggered by, coping mechanisms. I love the quotes in here. It says the antidote for shame is self-love and self-praise. So if you're ever feeling like you're incapable, combat that with a capable statement or a capable thought or a capable action. You're dealing with your inner child. You're dealing with an inner child. Artistic child abuse creates rebellion and blocks. All that can be done with abusive criticism is to heal from it. And there are ways that you can deal with any form of criticism. And one that resonated with me was do it. And it's number 9, coincidentally. Creativity is the only cure for criticism. Yeah. Oh, I didn't do the detective work exercise. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the detective work exercise because I did, this week the tasks that I did were describe 5 traits you liked in yourself as a child and list 5 childhood accomplishments. And then I did inner compass, which was let your brain just do something this week. And what was that? And I think it was when I attended the artist talk yesterday. I got there early and I had to do a artist headshot, but once we were in between the headshot and the artist talk, I had like an hour and a half, and I didn't want to just sit around, so I drove to the park. And once it was time to drive back, I did, and I attended the artist talk. So, I need to do my detective work. And it was to use these statements as free association. Free associate each of these statements. And it was my favorite childhood toy was, my favorite childhood game was, the best movie I ever saw was, I don't do too much, but I enjoy. If I could lighten up a little, I'd let myself. If I weren't too late, if my favorite musical instrument is, the amount of money I spend on treating myself to entertainment each month is, if I weren't so stingy with my artist, I'd buy her. Taking time out for myself is, I'm afraid that if I start dreaming, I I secretly enjoy reading blank. If I had the perfect childhood, I would have grown up to be blank. If it didn't sound so crazy, I'd write or make a blank. My parents think artists are. My God thinks artists are. What makes me feel weird about this recovery is learning to trust myself is probably the most cheer me up music is. And the last one, which is number 20, my favorite way to dress is. From there, we went into growth. And what I took from growth is the scientifically inclined among you might want to make a good through thorough lists of clothes. So, okay, it was pretty much saying make a list of all the things you know you deserve right now. Growth, growth. Embody what you see for yourself right now and make a list of all those things you have in that version of yourself. That was that. All right. And to get into my check in, how many days this week did you do your morning pages? 7 of freaking 7 glitches. Week 3 actually got all 7 morning pages out of me. High five. I said this final week of Ramadan was going to be intentional, and it was. I got all my morning pages. I did my fasting, and I'm here. How was the experience for you? Like I just said, I didn't skip a day, so we don't have to talk about if I did or why. Did you do your artist date this week? Yes. Yes. And yes. I just went to the botanical garden. I drove down to damn Stockbridge to go to the Tulip Festival, but due to the weather, they canceled it today, and it was the last weekend for it. So I drove all the way out there just to realize that it wasn't open. So I rerouted and came to the botanical garden because I wasn't not gonna not have my artist date today, and I wanted it to be something floral, and it was. I enjoyed it. I took pictures. I'm gonna have a cute little scrapbook once I'm finished with this project or once I'm finished with this course. But this is my favorite exhibit at the botanical garden. It is the Orchid Days, and it's pretty much a whole exhibit of the various types and forms of orchids. Love that for me. Then, since Ramadan is over, I'm out getting out back during daylight. Something. Alright. Sheesh. Eyelashes. Give me a break. I think that was it. That was it. I got it. Okay. Did you experience any synchronicity this week? What was it? Synchronicity. I tattooed a client yesterday who was a Cancer, and we had a very affirming conversation. Like everything that they were saying, I resonated with and I could relate to. And then I went out with Layla last night to an art wars, and literally me and Layla turned around and had the same conversation verbatim. And so that was interesting. Um, I ran into a girl at an event who follows me on Instagram, and she told me how inspiring she is. I ran into an old homie who I've been shopping with, who is a designer. I have a few pieces by him, and I saw him at this event that Layla and I went to, and I got a rug that will be going on the bus. It's a purple Game Boy, and it looks like my business card. So that's gonna be fun. And what else? What other synchronicities? Um, I do the accounting situation with Junction, and Gandy been wanting me to meet with Henry. She been wanting to sit down with me and Henry to go over the accounting situation, and I was like, universe, I don't even want to deal with her in the whole accounting situation. And it came to be that I was able to take Henry the documents directly, and we didn't even have to deal with her. So I love that for me. I got materials to work on Jack's outfit. I thought I was gonna have to go to multiple places, but I found everything in one outfit, and it's gonna be super cute. I'm excited about that. Once I leave Outback and go find this extractor bit from Harbor Freight, I'll be going to work on her outfit. I am projecting to finish Dochi tonight, and I know I'm very well capable of doing that. I'm staying home. My journal knows what that's about, so that's none of your business. But yeah, what else we got? So yes, to say the least, I did experience some synchronicities this week. Things are very much aligning. It was my dad's birthday last week, and I reached out to him, and he responded, and he asked me how much money I need. I told him. Uh-huh. Were there any other issues this week that you considered significant in your recovery? I was able to have a conversation with my partner about how he feels that I've been lately. Like, recognizing that I am having good weeks, I still want someone on the outside to be able to say, um, it wasn't that good, or you still a bit snappy, or there are some things that I recognize triggered you, and you need to learn how to navigate through that. And I feel like that's fair, and I appreciate him for being honest and trusting me enough to be able to tell me, or loving me enough to be able to tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. So that was awesome. That was all of my check in for this week. Week 4 is recovering a sense of integrity. This week may find you grappling with changing self definition. The essays, tasks, and exercises are designed to catapult you into productive introspection and integration of new self awareness. This may be both very difficult and extremely exciting for you. Warning, do not skip the tool of reading deprivation. So this week, I remember this week from when Dochi did her Artist Way course, and she was like, "How am I not supposed to read? I be reading." And so I think it's interesting how, like, text messages or like a book, I'm sure I'll learn more as I start reading the chapter. But we gonna see. That's all I have for now. Um, Oh, my artist date. I went to the botanical garden today. I told y'all I got distracted, but I was supposed to go to the tulip festival. Ended up going to the orchid festival, and I got some super dope reference photos. As y'all know, I'm a tattoo artist, and orchids are my favorite flower. So to be able to go into the botanical garden and get reference material that I'll ultimately be able to use in my paintings or in my tattoos, I'm excited about. So I'll just swipe through, show y'all what I got real quick. So, like, they have these beads hanging over the plants. I love that. I want an indoor greenhouse. Oh, a snapping turtle. A snapping turtle. Oh, am I going the wrong way? Maybe. When I went to the oh yeah, I did. I started too far. When I went to the planetarium, it was a story about dinosaurs and why the first thing in the exhibit is that orchids lived with dinosaurs. So it's something with me and dinosaurs too. And I had an idea for a new a title of a exhibit or a collection called Ancient Orchid Ancestors. And it'll pretty much be a blend of chiefs or leaders of people or people from tribes, probably the Mende tribe, which is where my maternal family originates, um, and figuring out a way to blend their portraits with orchids and maybe even my spirit guides, maybe even my grandmother, but like ancient orchid ancestors resonated something special with me, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to explore what ancient orchid ancestors looks like or what that feels like. So yeah, like it was really cool. I enjoyed myself. I got on all these clothes because it was cold this morning and now it's not. But that's it. That's it for week 3. We're headed into week 4. And I feel like every time I've checked in with y'all, I look different. And that's probably not going to change because I'm finding myself and realizing that I want to look away. I want to look like the star that I know that I am. I want to look like the star that I know that I am, and that requires a certain self image. So, this is what we look like this week. I just had this braiding hair left. I really don't do Kaneka line, but I dig the style. And moving forward, when I probably do this bob coming up, um, I'll be using yarn again. I just gotta figure out what color I want my hair to be, cause this is my hair color right now, and I could find a cinnamon yarn. That's probably what I'm gonna do, like a honey with yarn. Anyway, y'all, I'll be going off on tangents. Have a great week. Um, do something intentional. Do something for the first time, and keep showing up and taking up space. Until next check-in, stay glitched.